Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be going through real quick on how to find the equation of a straight line. So over here you can see that we have a graph that I've gotten of Desmos, and we want to find what the equation of it is. So first let's start with what we know to be the equation of a straight line, and we know that it's going to follow this format: y equals to mx plus c. We know that all equations of straight lines will definitely follow this, y equals mx plus c, where m is actually the gradient and c is the what we call the y-intercept. So where do we begin? To find the gradient, we already learned that it's rise over run. So we recall the formula where the gradient m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we go to our graph and we try to find our y1 x1, x1 y1 and x2 y2. We pick any 2 points. The thing is, with any 2 points you can form an entire line. So let's just pick 2 points that are easy to read. So this point here looks easy to read, and this point over here is my x coordinate is 0 and my y coordinate is -1. And let's look for another point that's easy to read. This point here looks easy to read. The x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate is also 1. Now how do I know which one is x1, y1, which one is x2, y2? The point on the left is always x1, y1. And the point on the right is always x2, y2. Now that we have that, we can just plug it into our formula to find our gradient. So what is y2? y2 is 1 minus what is y1? y1 itself has a negative sign, so we've got to make sure we account for it. So it's y2, which is 1, minus y1, which is -1. So we are subtracting a negative number over x2, which is 1 minus x1, which is 0. So we find that this gives me 1 plus 1 over 1, which is equals to 2. We have found our gradient. So now we know that, now that we found our gradient, we know that the equation of our line is y equals to 2x plus c. But we're not done. We still have to find what c is. We still have to find what our y-intercept is. And in doing that, we need to, there are a few ways, but one way, and the easiest way actually, is to substitute any given point. Substitute any given point into the equation. Any. So which one shall we pick? Let's say we pick this point. Let's pick this point, 1, 1. Okay? And let's just substitute it in. Let's see what we find. So let's say we go for sub in 1, 1. So y equals to x equals to 1, y equals to 1. So 1 is equals to 2 times 1 plus c. Oh, there we go. 1 equals to 2 plus c. And so c is equals to -1. There we go. We found our c. Right? Another way that we can do this is we look, let me do this in blue, look at the y-intercept. Why? And that is because you can see when we substitute x equals to 0, so the y-intercept is actually here, where it cuts the y-axis, right? It's over here, and it cuts the y-axis. And what happens when you cut the y-axis? X is actually equals to 0. And so what happens when x equals to 0? You see that, oops. When x equals to 0, y equals to 2 times 0 plus c. And see, you can see that this actually 2 times 0 gives me 0, so y actually becomes equals to c. So as long as I substitute in x equals to 0, I can find that y will equal to c. So why don't I try that? And I will see that when I substitute, when x equals to 0, y will equal to 0, y equals to negative 1. Oops. And so we can see now y equals to 0 and we see plus c, and we can note that y actually equals to negative 1. So negative 1 equals to c, and there we go, we found it again. So finally, the equation of our line is y equals to 2x plus c, so it's plus a negative 1, but we know when we add a negative number, this just gives us 2x minus 1. This is the equation of our line.